Developing today, pressure on Prince Harry to apologise to Prince William in order to get the royal peace talks back on track. These revelations, after a major People magazine cover commemorating 28 years since the death of Princess Diana. Very significant cover, really, when you think about it, given that this is the magazine that is completely allied with Harry. Harry actually emails some executives at the magazine directly. And if we go back to that cover, it's very stark. One brother is preparing to be king. The other has stepped away to protect his peace. Prince William and Prince Harry remain devoted to their mother and painfully estranged. The insider saying Diana would have tried to act as peacemaker. Now, we're going to get more analysis from the Sidley twins of the brilliant Twin Talks podcast in just 1 second. But let me take you through a little bit more of this exclusive reporting inside People magazine, which I repeat, it is significant simply because of the magazine's proximity to Prince Harry. You know he will read every word of this. So they need to know Prince William and Prince Harry continue to honour their late mother, Princess Diana, through much of their public work and philanthropy. The painful feud remains profound and long-lasting. Andrew Morton calls the rift a great loss for the monarchy. Indeed, Morton also tells the People reporters that things were said initially that sparked the initial rift that has never healed. Robert Lacey, author of the Battle of Brothers book, very good book, I contributed to it, added, the rift is very profound and long-lasting. And here's the key line. It will not be changed, in my opinion, until Harry makes a move and apologizes. Historian Amanda Foreman adds, everyone wants it to happen on their terms, but that's what makes it impossible. Then a source close to the royal household telling People this is the sadness of it. They aren't supporting each other like they should be. Referring to Diana, that's what any mother would want, that they are there for each other. Morton's even more clear, saying Diana always used to say she had 2 boys for a reason. The younger would be there to support the older in the lonely task as future king. There is no doubt Diana would have tried to act as a peacemaker between them. If she had been around, they would have worked things out in a different way. But not everyone agreeing with this People magazine narrative. Harry's Meghan spare, in response, posted, the tensions began in 2016, when Meghan Markle entered the picture. Since then, Harry's behaviour has shifted. He's become more erratic and divisive. Without the palace's protection, his actions are now more visible and have revealed a little side of him that was previously protected. Meghan has amplified his horrible behaviour. She is the culprit and is to blame for the division between the 2 brothers. She's a controlling lunatic, a bully, a pathological liar, a grifter. Meghan has shown little genuine care or love for Harry, and her actions have shown she does not prioritise her best interests. Any loving partner would encourage a truce between the 2 brothers, but not Meghan. Her hate for the royal family, Princess Catherine especially, is so evident that she makes any reconciliation impossible. So, to Nancy and Stephanie Sidley of the brilliant Twin Talks podcast on YouTube, I think that is a very fair point, because People magazine, because they have to keep this proximity to Prince Harry, but critically Meghan Markle. You remember Meghan gave the only interview that she's given for the Netflix series to People, almost has seemed to write her out of this narrative altogether, as if the brothers' feud is nothing to do with what happened when Meghan got with Harry. And that feels very intellectually dishonest to me.
Of course it's Meghan. And if his mom was still alive, there wouldn't have been a Meghan and there wouldn't have been a rift between the brothers. She brought him up to be the one to support Prince William when he became king. That's what she wanted. She was not this anti-monarchist free spirit that the Sussex Squad wants you to think she was. She believed in the monarchy, and this has got to be maybe Meghan and Harry's way of trying to create a new narrative that, oh, Meghan had nothing to do with it, so this is something that these two have to figure out, because if they do end up talking one day, who knows, Meghan should be able to come back with Harry, when it's pretty evident that the UK and everybody in the family does not want Meghan coming back ever. And that's like non-negotiable in my head. I'm like, I would not be cool with the royal family if they did that.
Prince Harry is definitely taking a different path now, because the BBC interview that he did a couple months ago did not land well. He was just saying, you know, I hope we can, you know, get back together. I hope my dad. But he was
still
blah, blah, blah.
playing the blame game.
It looks the now. Now he's flipping the narrative in the script, going, "Oh, that didn't work. So I now need to make Prince William look like he is going to be king one day, and I need to support him.
Maybe show a little self-accountability, not too much.
Not too much.
But the main thing is to keep Meghan out of the narrative, to not make her look like the villain, like she had anything to do with William and I and our falling out. That's what's going on here, because it is People magazine. And it doesn't pass the smell test with me. And I don't trust those two. And I also see that their brand is failing. They're going to have to find a way to make money.
And if that desperate times.
Yeah. And if that doesn't happen, he's going to have to start thinking about going back to the UK, because the bills add up in Montecito. I can only imagine how much it costs
he planted the seed on the BBC interview. He planted it.
Oh, yeah. I want to make amends.
Yeah. That didn't work. We all saw right through him.
Yeah.
Well, but go to People magazine.
Yeah. But trying to keep Meghan's name out of it, that makes me like, that's not going to work. That's just not going to work.
No, absolutely. And the thing is, obviously, People is walking this tightrope, because they are determined to maintain access to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. At the same time, they know that their audience, their magazine buyers, are actually much more pro-royal family than they are pro-Montecito. And I think they're also trying to send a message to Prince Harry. That's what was very clear to me, especially with that inclusion of the line from Robert Lacey, because it is true. And it is William's ultimatum. He will not even consider joining the peace talks. And by the way, I think as it stands at the moment, I will be very clear, Prince William doesn't expect to speak to his brother for the rest of his life. But in terms of even contemplating, for example, sending a staff member to peace talks or anything like that, that just is a non-starter until Prince Harry apologizes. And of course, up until this point, Prince Harry is still looking for an apology to Meghan from the royal family.
He's going to do that for the rest of his life until he's out of this, or, you know, until he gets deprogrammed, because that's what the problem is. He is in our opinion, a narcissistic, abusive relationship. And that's just our opinion. We're not doctors, but just from what we see. And he's stuck in this. He has kids. He doesn't know what he's going to do. And he's terrified, but he also got himself into this mess. And he needs to take some self-accountability. William, you're right. William should never take him back at this point. He should never trust Harry again. There would have to be so many stipulations with that. But security. Yes, security.
A lot.
And then can you imagine Prince William bringing him around Princess Catherine? I mean, after what they did to her, they threw her under the bus, starting with the Oprah interview. Oh, well, they called her Waity Katie, but that's not the same as racism.
They shared private text messages in Spare.
He printed private messages. That's insane. And he put it in his dumb book. That to me is unacceptable. And I just don't know how he's going to come back from that.
Say it, forget it, write it, regret it.
Yeah. It's true.
Totally. And he was warned. That was the thing. He was warned time and again. And absolutely, I totally agree that William, in terms of what his plan is a life of exile for Harry and for Meghan. And that's what I want.
Narcissistic abusive relationship. That's the phrase making waves in royal coverage this week, tied to claims that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage and their battles with the royal family have reached boiling point. Now, reports suggest that Prince William has issued what's being described as a peace talks ultimatum to his brother Harry. But what does that even mean? Is this genuine reconciliation or a final royal showdown? Let's break it down. First, some context. Harry and Meghan's split from the royal family, Megxit, has been one of the most damaging family feuds in modern monarchy. We've had the Oprah interview, the Netflix documentary, Harry's memoir Spare, endless headlines about royal racism, leaking, and family betrayals. All of it has left Harry isolated from his father, King Charles, and especially his brother, Prince William. Now, William is reportedly stepping forward with one clear message. Enough is enough. So where does this narcissistic abusive relationship angle come in?
I think, why on earth would you bring two people in who want to bring down the royal family? As Gad Saad, the brilliant Canadian academic, describes it, it's suicidal empathy when you do something like that. But we know Charles is too soft. Sorry, you come.
I think at first, I think at first they were afraid that Americans would feel bad for Harry and Meghan. I think if they came across too strong 3-4 years ago, but I doubt Prince William's watching this, but we just want you to know that in America, in America, we will not hold it against you. We will not look at you as like this being brother turning your back on Harry. We want you to remove the titles. We will be fine with that. That's what we want. Let them live in California and make the money, but take the titles away. Show some respect to the institution that your grandma and grandpa put so much of their lives into.
Their entire lives.
And even your dad, King Charles, he killed it as Prince of Wales. He was the best Prince of Wales ever. And just give them the respect that they deserve at this point. And they deserve, I get it. King Charles doesn't want to be the one to do it. But Prince William, please just take the titles away at least. Just get it over with. We will not hold it against you. We will praise you even more than we do. Trust me, okay? We will. We love you.
Totally. And I think one thing that people probably haven't quite got their head around is a lot of these decisions are now going to be left to Prince William, which is why we see this leak into the Daily Telegraph. Oh, this is how Prince William and the royal family are preparing to remove Prince Andrew's titles, potentially to try and banish Prince Andrew. But you read between the lines, you look below the surface, and of course, what's good for Prince Andrew would also be good for Prince Harry, given an act of parliament here in the United Kingdom is required, and it would absolutely need the king of the day to ask the prime minister to pursue this. I could see a scenario where both happened at the same time. Because then it's almost like William's trying to depersonalize it a little bit in terms of how it plays. But trust me, these plans are afoot.
I mean, if Prince Andrew has to take one for the team, then he's got to take one for the team. I feel bad because he really was loyal to the crown. He loved his mother. He loved his grandmother very much. But he might have to take one for the team. And that's that. And, dude, it's like, what are you going to do? I mean, even though the joke now is, well, Jeffrey Epstein didn't do anything. So why should Andrew feel bad about hanging out with him? I mean, that's kind of like the joke in America, but
I know. Yeah. Oh God, this one is so messy, but actually I'm with you on Andrew. I mean, Brian E. Gordon wrote this ridiculous column for the Daily Mail this week saying, my friend Meghan is nowhere near as bad as Prince Andrew, and you should all be nice to her, even though she bullied everyone, right? And it's like, hang on a moment. Hang on a moment. Prince Andrew, for all of his faults, of which there are many, very few people disagree with that, never once set out to destroy the British royal family, set out to falsely accuse the British king and queen or future queen of racism. So it's like, of course the public feel much more strongly about what Meghan did, especially if we believe in the institution of the monarchy.
Exactly. I mean, I've never had a problem with Prince Andrew ever. And, you know, our audience sometimes gets upset with us because they're like, how could you like this man? It's like, it's not that I don't like him. It's just, I go by what the Queen was doing in the last months of her life. And when she was at Westminster for Prince Philip's Thanksgiving Day ceremony, she had Prince Andrew walk her down the aisle. That was for a reason. That was trying to communicate to everybody that I love my son. Please, when I'm gone, don't hurt him. You know, she's not going to be around to protect him anymore. So I have to go with my gut. And I don't think Prince Andrew deserves to be stripped of anything, but if he has to go down with the ship, he's got to go down with the ship at this point.
See, I mean, listen, he's done some crazy things. Okay, let's just be honest.
Yeah, he's not a traitor.
He's not a traitor.
He's not a traitor.
But he's a dude that got hooked up with some sketchy people.
But he's done a lot of things throughout
He's
the
done a lot
years,
of things.
but he's
And obviously so did Bill
family.
Clinton, so did Bill Gates.
So did all,
who
exactly.
Who maintain, you know, this place absolutely at the heart of the liberal establishment. I mean, it's really interesting, this one, to me, because I actually totally agree with you in that the Queen, and I've spoken to a lot of people close to the late Queen and close to Prince Andrew about this, and it's not a popular thing. It's not something people want to hear. But I do believe over the years, and remember, I've been very open about the fact that I've changed my view on this. You know, I've done my own research. I've done my own reporting now for probably the last 3 years. And I'm not on the bandwagon of Prince Andrew as the worst person in the world. What I can tell you as an absolute fact is that the late Queen, who suffered no falls and who was always mentally competent right until the very end, we know that because of the way that she dealt with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, right, was utterly convinced that her son was innocent, that yes, he had maybe made some mistakes, but he had certainly not broken the law at all. And she supported him 100%, which is why, as you say, she made that public show to the world for him to walk her down the aisle at what was one of her last public appearances, really, and most important public appearances. And again, that's not to say that Andrew can't be a little bit oafish. I mean, we had this story this week, and it's like, Andrew, what are you thinking? That he was feeling road rage. Did you see this after speed bumps were installed outside his home? This was an exclusive from The Sun. And apparently he barked, "What the F are you doing now?" Because one of these speed bumps had been built on Andrew's driving route out of his mansion. But it's just a bit like, come on, The Sun newspaper. Like, are you just going to bully this guy and destroy this guy when he's just living his life? I mean, this is totally different to what Meghan and Harry are doing, right? What's Prince Andrew done since that Newsnight interview? He's tried to disappear.
He hasn't done anything.
I think that makes him relatable.
Yeah, that
He's like us.
He
Like,
reminds me of Prince Philip too. That's something Prince Philip would freak out about. I mean,
Totally.
We're having these discussions about Prince Andrew and road rage, but Meghan can have the biggest bully in Hollywood on her show,
And
Chrissy
that's
Teigen,
Oh my
and
God.
that's okay.
That's okay with the press.
But that's okay.
Well,
Yeah, with the liberal press.
and now we're told that they're BFFs, temporary BFFs, because we know it won't last, right? Because you put two bully girls together and it's not going to last. But for the moment, these two are thick as thieves.
Good.
But you know,
Good.
Dan, I read yesterday that Chrissy Teigen had a show on Netflix in 2021.
Yes.
And because of the bullying allegations, which she did, they're not allegations, she really did it. Sorry.
We saw it with our own eyes.
Exactly.
She apologized for it.
Netflix dropped her from the show in 2021. Now they're bringing her back. What are they thinking?
I don't think it's Netflix. I think it's WME, because WME is in charge of those
Nancy,
two too.
Netflix makes the final decision.
70. I don't think anybody was willing to go on that show. Obviously, Serena was like,
no Serena, no Mariah,
Where
no
was
Paris Hilton, no
Beyonce?
Kerry
Yeah.
Washington, no Jessica Alba, like no Gail
Exactly.
King,
There's
no
nothing.
Oprah Winfrey. They needed someone. And
needed
so
someone.
But why
they're
her?
like, okay, yeah, she's a bully, but she's still married to John Legend. And I guess,
Yeah,
you know, ugh.
She has said horrific things about children. Horrific things.
Yeah, undescribable.
Well, I know,
But we have to
and
worry
it's
about
nuts
Prince Andrew's road rage.
But we know that Meghan and Harry, though, are complete hypocrites when it comes to all of their talk about online, what do they call it, you know, bullying online or whatever. And it makes me sick because what they've done is they've actually dragged in grieving parents into this, which is so wrong. When we know better than most that, you know, the Sussex squad, who still run riot, who still have this spiritual leader, Christopher Boozy, who's still writing in mainstream publications, are, as I've revealed in intimate detail in the past, are the biggest gang of internet trolls in online history.
Critics, particularly some commentators close to the palace, argue that Meghan has a pattern of isolating Harry, pushing him to cut ties with friends, family, and the institution that shaped his life. It's a heavy accusation, one rooted in psychology and speculation. But whether or not you buy it, it's fueling the narrative that Harry needs rescuing and that William may be the only one who can reach him. Now, onto the so-called ultimatum. Insiders claim William has told Harry, sit down, talk this out, and stop the attacks, or risk permanent estrangement. For William, this isn't just personal. It's about protecting the monarchy's stability. If Harry keeps lobbing bombs from California, the crown itself looks weak and divided. But here's the twist. William reportedly isn't negotiating with Meghan. He wants to talk to Harry alone. That tells you everything about where trust, or mistrust, currently lies. The situation raises some big questions. Can William and Harry actually rebuild their bond, or is it too late? Is Meghan really the obstacle, or just the scapegoat? And if Harry refuses the ultimatum, what does that mean for the monarchy's long-term image?
So, of course, Meghan and Harry don't actually care about Chrissy Teigen being an internet bully. They don't actually care about that because the only thing that they care about are when people bully them. And their definition of bullying is people speaking the truth, people calling out their hypocrisy, people calling out their lies. But at the same time, I still just think it's extraordinary because it's like, shit, we need a household name. We can't get anyone else. I mean, if we look, I think we've got a graphic actually of a whole load of the people who were on the show that Royally Sage pointed out, and virtually all of them, but virtually all of them are connected to Netflix shows, right?
Not Jay. Is Jay Shetty? He's like a grifter. He's like a
Kardashian style grifter.
Yeah, he's
grifter.
not one of the.
That dude's a mess.
So why do you think they're associating with him?
Because she has nobody else. There's no other way. Plus, she's in that group of people. I mean, the dude's a grifter. He's a known grifter. Everybody knows, but he's also making his downfall. Like, he was really popular 5 years ago, but then people started doing deep dives into his past, and they found out he was lying about most of it. And then he charges $7,400 to get. He lied about if you do a course, you can become accredited in the UK and have the equivalent of a master's degree. UK universities had to actually come out and say, no, this is not true. You are not this is not an accreditation. Do not think that you can come to us and say, I already have this. I'm credentialed in whatever spirituality or whatever the heck he's doing. He's a crazy life coach. And I'm not speculating that. That's a fact.
He did Khloe Kardashian's podcast recently.
Yeah.
And it was all about selling things and just my books and my speeches,
my
and
courses.
Come see me and do all this. I mean,
the guy's
this is Meghan Markle's life now.
This is her at her best. These are the people she can get. This is it.
Well, yeah, and you could tell, as you guys pointed out very brilliantly, you could tell in the trailer actually that even though it was only 101 seconds, Netflix had really struggled to find moments that didn't reveal Meghan's true colors. Nancy, you posted Meghan Markle is doing her best impression of a woman not on the edge, because you can see it in her face, can't you? It's like she's about to break. And Stephanie, you found 2 examples which I thought were really telling of the times that Meghan Markle's mask had slipped. And in fact, I think Revealing the Narc put together a video actually showing just how angry she was at various points in this trailer too, which I just found so interesting.
She cannot keep it together for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but see, this is my fear for those of us who have to watch it. I have a feeling this is going to be even more boring than the first half, because this is
part 1.
Well, what I'm saying is this is all the stuff that was kind of on the cutting room floor, but the fact that she is losing her mask and it's slipping like that, yeah, I mean, we're going to see it. Look at her look at the camera here.
Oh, she has to find the camera.
She has to find the camera
and stick out that tongue.
Yeah. I mean, she's not fooling anybody. It's hilarious. I mean, I hope it's going to be entertaining, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little boring.
But what I got from that trailer is that she really does not like other human beings,
especially women.
There's one gal there who's a chef, I guess, and she's making a salad, and that's her right there to the right. That woman, I don't know her name. I apologize. But she's making the salad, and then she goes, "Well, can we just stop making the salad and just eat cheese?" She completely takes over the segment.
Yes.
That's what I'm afraid.
And then there's the blonde woman who says, "I'm just having so much fun," in the most miserable voice, because you can just see there's no fun being had. Okay, we've got to do a palate cleanse. Got to do a palate cleanse because I haven't spoken about it yet, and I thought Catherine's video for summer, celebrating summer, was just so lovely. So she posted on X premiering this, because she's obviously doing one for the 4 seasons, and she posted, "Our lives flourish when we cherish the bonds of love and friendship. It's never been more important to appreciate the value of one another and of Mother Nature. Here's to summer." Watch.
It's just beautiful.
It really
I
is.
loved it. It's so nice.
Summer is a season for abundance. Just as the flowers bloom and the fruits ripen, we too are reminded of our own potential for growth. It is the time to ignite our inner fire and explore our own creativity, passions, and dreams. As we bask in the sunlit hours, friends and families come together, playing, connecting, being present. Embracing the joy to be found in even the most fleeting of moments and shared experiences. Our lives flourish when we cherish the bonds of love and friendship. So open your hearts, sing, dance, play. The days are still long. So simply love and be loved.
Oh, that is the true palate cleanse, isn't it? Just wonderful. I just loved it.
Our future queen.
I'm so excited.
I love it.
Yeah, and what I
love
loved
her
about
voice.
it is it's like, of course, Mother Nature is the great leveler, isn't it? Especially over summer, because times are really tough here in the United Kingdom for a whole load of reasons, as I discuss on my show on a daily basis. But actually, what's the one thing that we can all do that costs nothing? Explore, get outside, go for a swim. And I just think it's such a positive message. And it's, again, the opposite of Meghan's message, isn't it? Which is, buy my bloody rosé.
Yeah,
Buy my
exactly.
overpriced rosé. Oh, and my sprinkles too, you know? And actually, the only way to live a good life is to have a massive kitchen, you know, with a huge what do they call it, a huge island in the middle, you know, which a lot of
Two
people
islands.
just don't find aspirational but find depressing.
It's very depressing. I mean, nobody's living like that. I don't know what she's living
Daniel
like.
Martin, her own makeup hair person.
Makeup.
Is it makeup? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually was in the rented backyard and said, this all looks fake.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like then they kept it in the show.
Yeah,
There's nothing nature about Meghan.
There's nothing. And Princess Catherine just has a way with her words, and she is authentic, because Stephanie and I have the biggest, BS detector out there, because we've been watching the Kardashians for so long, and she just doesn't have it. She's genuine, she's authentic, and
She's kind.
she's kind, and we just love her, and that's our future queen. I can't wait. Just strip the titles of Harry and Meghan, and we'll just be so happy to get rid of those two.
Indeed. Well, speaking of people who are authentic, it's you too. And that's why, of course, you have to subscribe to Twin Talks on YouTube. It is a genuinely amazing channel, but I always love having you on Outspoken. And please, I'm going to put you through hell again. But please, because I've got a plan, and I've got Samantha Markle on board already because she was on yesterday. And my plan is, can we watch it with Love Meghan Series 2 all together? Then we'll do the big video again, because I honestly view this almost as a public service now, because we do not want to give her the views.
I agree.
Do you see what I mean?
Agree. Yeah, no, it's really important. And we tell our viewers that too. We say, guys, do not, click on it. Let the YouTubers
give a little dislike. That's okay.
Yeah, go on there if you still have Netflix and give it a dislike. That's really important. But as far as we'll show you all the good parts, like we did
and the bad parts, because that's the thing. I don't
Yeah.
think people actually do want to watch it. But I
No.
think they want to know how bad it is. So will you please come back on the day of release? I know you're going to have to
We'll
get up
do
so
anything.
early.
That's fine.
Thank you for asking us.
Yeah.
Yeah, August 26th. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. You couldn't say no, could you, given we're live on air? But
God, no.
Absolutely
so
not.
We love you so much. And also my parents wanted to say hi to you, and they love you so much. Yeah.
Oh, that is so adorable. We'll send my love back to them and have an
I will.
amazing weekend. And okay, we will speak. I think it's 11 days. 11 days.
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Yes.
Nancy and Stephanie Sidley of the Brilliant Twin Talks, thank you so much.
Look, I think narcissistic abusive relationship is a loaded phrase and maybe unfair. Relationships are complicated, and Harry clearly made his own choices. But the fact that William is even considering peace talks shows how desperate things have become. The monarchy runs on image, stability, family, tradition. And right now, that image is fractured. William knows the crown can't afford another decade of Sussex versus Windsor headlines. So is this about love for his brother? Maybe. But it's also about survival for the institution. So what do you think? Is Meghan really the controlling force critics say she is? Or is that just an easy label to throw at her? And will William's peace talks ultimatum actually work? Or is the royal rift permanent? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the royal drama. Because if there's one thing we've learned, it's this: peace in the House of Windsor is always temporary.